Hey everyone, well, the day has come, the first major expense on the boat, first major maintenance expense. I have to replace all the onboard batteries, the house bank as well as the inverter bank. So last night before we went to bed we hauled out all the batteries, Nick and I did. There was 4 of those 8Ds, the big heavy ones, and then another 8D for the inverter bank, and they're being replaced with 4 8D AGE batteries and 4 6-volt AGE batteries for the inverter bank. I had to drive into Orlando this morning to drop Nick and James off at the airport, so they're on their way back to Canada. Let's get this party started. Okay, I've got the floor up and now I'm looking down into the engine room. That's the port side motor over there and the starboard side motor over there. So down here is the first access panel. These would be the port side batteries. Now there's 2 batteries in there that weigh about 160 pounds apiece. And on the other side of this line where I'm standing are the 2 starboard batteries that have to come out, also about 165 pounds apiece. So step 1, lift them out. Well, since I've got the battery compartments open, I might as well clean it up. Okay, that's all the house bank batteries and starter batteries in place. I only filmed 1 because, man oh man, it was tough, and the last thing I wanted to do was worry about filming to try to get those in. A special shout out and big thanks to John over there, one of the fellow liveaboards, friend of ours, saw me struggling and came over to help with the last 3 batteries. So after I nearly put the first one through the hull, I really appreciated his help on the last 3. So thanks, John. Now it's time to hook them up. Well, that's the 4 onboard batteries put in, house bank, 2 starters, 2 house bank. What a hassle. The distance between the posts on the new one is different, so the old lines were hard to make fit. I broke a couple of things. I lost a couple of nuts and bolts down between the batteries, had to remove them a few times. Needed to drill something out. Went to use my drill, the battery was dead, had to drill it by hand. It's been a nightmare, it's been hours, but it's over and I'm happy for it. The next step will be to do the inverter battery bank, but I have to wait till sundown because the solar is still charging that bank. So after sundown, I'll tackle that part. Okay, so moment of truth. Batteries are all hooked up. Now we're at the fuse panel. Let's turn on the port side batteries. And they're on. Let's check the voltage. Boom. 100%. For the starboard side, check the voltage. 100%. Generator batteries, they're being charged because the solar is hooked up to them, so they're showing 13.5 volts. Now if I turn on the battery charger, and up goes the amps as the charger cycles. Everything's good. Okay, well, sun's gone down, so I guess that means the break is over and I have to get back to this battery upgrade. So the next step will be to install the 6-volt batteries in place of the inverter battery that's down there right now. The 6-volt batteries, I'm going to be installing them in series which means connecting two 6 volts together to make one 12-volt battery. And then with those 12-volt batteries, I'm going to connect those two in parallel so I can keep 12 volts but double the amount of amp hours. I know that sounds complicated, but it's actually pretty easy to do. So I guess the first thing to do is to pull out the other battery that I've got running the inverter now, and I'm actually going to use that battery to run the water maker. Okay, so the first battery, the old battery, has been disconnected. Just got to haul it out here. That's heavy, but it's certainly a lot lighter than the AGM ones that I just bought, that's for sure. This little small one. This is a 12 volt, and you can see here it's giving us 105 amp hours for this 12 volt, whereas one of these 6 volts, if you remember I said, gives us 385 minutes at 25 amps. So basically double, more than double, just for one of these 6 volts compared to this one. But this one will run my water maker just fine. Wiring for these 6 volts before I bring them down there, it'd be much easier to do it up here. Okay, so I've got my battery bank, inverter bank all straightened out. This is exactly what it's going to look like once I put it down there. I've got it connected in series and parallel. So that's two 12-volt banks connected in parallel. Let me throw those in, give it a test. Should be good to go. Okay, so that's job done. Inverter batteries are all completed, tested, running perfectly. I'm going to run an experiment tonight to shut everything down from the shore, and I'm going to see how many days I can live without starting a motor. So I'll keep you posted. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below. All right, thanks for watching. See you again.